Packing as a minimalist is a funny one for myself because as a minimalist, I feel like as a content and video creator as well, we are constantly packing things, showing how to do the nice Marie Kondo fold and looking at the spatial capacity of things. So obviously only a couple of weeks ago, I packed all the clothes that I own into my aluminium sustainable suitcase. But when I am actually traveling and not wanting to just take all my possessions with me, I often opt for something a bit smaller. Sometimes that is my backpack. Sometimes it is my little bum bag. Sometimes it is my little black sling bag. They are all the bags that I own. But this is for one whole month that I am going away. Now, a lot of people would probably think, well, just take all the clothes you own. You don't hardly have any clothes anyway. You've got a 33 item wardrobe for all 4 seasons. Just take it. It's, you know, it all fits in a carry-on suitcase. But I think, why take it if I don't need it? Now, in Greece there are quite a few nice restaurants that we will be going to, so sometimes I do need some dressier options. Otherwise, I would be attempting the actual bum bag travel. I might save that for countries that are perhaps not as bothered about being a little bit dressed up. But for now, I have to consider that as well when I'm packing. But what we're going to try and do is really pack as minimally as possible for a hot climate. So I'm going to show you what those things are for me. Let me go get my drawer that contains all my clothes. Good little pointer. Last week, or the week before, when I did the video about packing all the items that I owned, I realised that my drawer was looking a little bit untidy. So I actually straightened it all up and did the Marie Kondo folds for that so I could see it all, which will make this phase a lot easier. Let me go get the drawer. So one thing that I've learned from spending a lot of time in Greece is that I do prefer lighter physically, but also lighter in colour clothing when I'm in a hot climate. So I perhaps will save my black stuff to wear before I go, because we've still got a little bit of time before we go yet. But all my hot weather clothing is finally going to get worn, because we're actually in England having record temperature lows in September. It's winter type weather. I'm only really warm because I'm inside, but that works out good for packing. It means I can still have clothes here before we go, but I'm packing all my warm stuff. I'm going to be packing the things that I definitely won't need for the next couple of days before I go, which are all my dresses. Now, this maybe more dresses than is really essential, you know, as an extreme minimalist or even as a minimalist, because I get a lack of opportunity to wear dresses in England. I make the best of it when I go to a warm climate. So all these are going. Let me put them in. Try and do that so you guys can see a little bit. Next, with the dresses, one thing I definitely won't need whilst I'm in England for the remaining days are these shorts. Now, a little thing to mention while I'm packing these. These shorts have been some shorts that I am not sure about for a while, but as I get, you know, not much opportunity to wear them here, I'm using Greece as a tester of whether I really want to keep them. Because, well, how can we say this? The seam is a little bit uncomfortable. I always kind of get a little bit of a wedgie situation going on. So I'm going to wear these one last time on holiday, and then they may actually get decluttered. Shorts going in. Now, one thing that I definitely need when I am travelling is all my tank tops. Have we got them all here? That is the question. And I'm going to roll these as small as they will go to save space. Let's get them all. We've got beige, black and green, and that is largely the colours that I sort of keep in my wardrobe. There's an occasional blue, an occasional grey, an occasional rusty earthy tone, but in general it's these. When I actually pack a backpack, I make sure that I shove it down into every tiny little bit of space. It does not want to stay upright. Although it is very, very hot on Crete, which is actually the furthest point in Europe, the island of Crete, It's almost down at the bottom of the Mediterranean, almost touching Africa. But although it is that far south, it does actually sometimes get quite cool on an evening. And myself personally, being somebody who is very fair, I do need cover-ups, and I will get to the sun cream at a later point. I am prone to burning. I have had a history of skin cancer on my neck, so covering up from the sun is very important to me. I also have issues with melanin, which means that I can absorb vitamin D easily from my food or from the sun for obvious reasons. So sometimes I do have to take a vitamin D supplement because I can't get enough sun. So that reminds me, before we continue, I have been taking these mental performance shots for productivity. They're by a company called Magic Mind, who are 100% carbon neutral, and these actually have 100% of your RDA vitamin D allowance, also vitamin C, and they've even got ingredients in them that actually make it easier for you to absorb the vitamin D. So I'm going to take this, and then we will be getting right on with how we unfortunately have to cover up from the sun in packing for a hot climate. But if you'd like to have a look at these, I will link my discount code SAGELIFE20 in the description down below. And I believe that Magic Mind even offer a money back guarantee if you are not happy. But I have actually seen a huge benefit to taking them. And as we've done in the other two videos, you can have it as a shot, as I'm about to, or you can have it with sparkling water or as a matcha latte, although they taste much more like passion fruit juice. Do you think I can do it in one? Did you see there was a little cup there, guys? Because I nearly choked again as I took it. I was over ambitious at trying to do the whole shot in one, but very nice. Right, so how do I cover up from the sun? I take these very loose, lightweight linen and sort of crinkle material, which are ideal for packing in a rucksack because they have this print that actually disguises how wrinkly linen can often get. So I actually love this type of material. What I usually do as well is, as soon as I get there, I will hang these up, usually in the bathroom where they can be steamed, and any big wrinkles will drop out, but obviously the material makes it that it kind of disguises the wrinkles. Now, one thing that cannot be disguised is my actual linen that doesn't have the crinkle effect, which I have a pair of black linen trousers and a black linen shirt. These will need to be hanging in the bathroom for quite some time. So far, for anybody who hasn't been really noticing what I've packed 4 dresses and I've packed a pair of linen trousers and 3 pairs of shorts and 3 vests. Now, as we are travelling from the UK in a record-breaking coldest autumn ever, which will be even colder when we return in approximately a month's time, I did consider going in my black linen trousers so there wasn't something heavy to carry on other days, because there is a point in the month that we're there where we are moving accommodation. But I just think that I will be too cold when I return. So I'm saving my sage green jeans as a travelling outfit. I also think that I might travel in my newest little t-shirt. So that's my little travel outfit. And then, where can we put that? We'll put that on the side for now. Then I like to take one non-sleeve top that is a little bit dressy. This is the one that's made of viscose and it doesn't wrinkle. So it's ideal for the first evening that you arrive, while your other stuff is being steamed and hung out. Now, I don't think that I want to take any of these t-shirts because these t-shirts, again, black, beige and green that I have, they're very, very thick cotton. And whilst I'm away, I will just layer my vest and my blouses if I need them. So these are not going. So just let me show you this, guys. In the video that I did, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago now, where I packed all the clothes I own into a suitcase, I said that if I were to live permanently in England, which I'm not, we're hoping to emigrate, we are emigrating, my wardrobe would look very different. it would probably be half the size it is. And this, that I'm about to show you, is a testament to that. So this is what my wardrobe looks like when I have packed all my warm clothing. So to me, as somebody who does call themselves an extreme minimalist, it seems absolutely ludicrous how many clothes I keep for a warm climate when I actually don't live in a warm climate. Now the vests are kind of okay because we do use them to layer. I would need the odd dress and the odd blouse or shirt for when I occasionally do dress up here. But as I work from home, if I was to really just live with my streetwear sort of jeans and t-shirts with just the odd dressier item, my wardrobe would probably be half. Now I think as we speak, the only thing that is being washed is a pair of leggings and a black top and my 2 hoodies. But you get what I'm saying. My wardrobe would probably only be about 12 items if I didn't have all these things for a full 4-season wardrobe, which I think as the stuff starts to wear out, that is going to be something that I do, only sort of keeping at least a summer and a winter wardrobe at any one time. Sort of letting summer go into spring or vice versa and letting autumn go into winter. So a 6-month basis and turnaround of clothes. Now, there are a couple of other things that I do like to take when I go away. So let me go get those for you and I'll show you. It's really bright. Guys, my apologies about how bright that window is, but if I make the exposure any darker in here, the rest of the room is so dark, so hopefully it's not too annoying for you all. Right, what do I also need? I obviously need a towel. Now we are provided with cotton type terry towels to dry ourselves on in the Airbnb that we stay, which always feels like a luxury as a minimalist. But when we go to the beach, which we like to do a lot of, this is when an hammam towel comes in really handy, and they are so quick drying, they're so multifunctional. You can use them as a sarong, you can put them around your shoulders, so you don't have to take one of your nice linen shirts down to the beach, although you could if you wanted. So I have one of these, my partner has one, and the great thing is they just roll up so small. But I'm now going to share something with you that I learned whilst I was there last year. It's nearly trying to lean over like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So last year, when we were in Greece as a family with my mum, I realised that we obviously have to walk back and forth from the shower, and on an evening, as I don't actually have pyjamas, there was a lot of sitting around in my shorts still that I'd worn through the day, and obviously it's a really hot country, so you get very sweaty very fast. And I thought, this is a different situation obviously to at home. At home I would just either sit around in my towel or put one of our dressing gowns on that we share. So as a result of that, when I came home I did end up buying a linen robe. So I could have a choice now when I pack whether I take a linen robe or whether I take something else. And the hammam towel gave me this idea. So I came across this and I just thought it was the most perfect multifunctional item. You could even have this instead of the hammam towel if you wanted. So it is something that looks like a large hammam towel. It could just go out like that on your sunbed or on the beach. But then when you decide that you have had enough of being in the sun, you think perhaps your shoulders are burning a little bit too much, you can actually wear it like a large poncho. I just thought that it was the absolutely best idea ever. So what I'm going to do for a while on holiday is trial just this and see whether I want it to replace my hammam towel, because this is a hammam poncho that is also a cover up. We'll see. I might decide to keep both, but I absolutely love it, and it even works as a sort of dressing gown type thing in the summer back home. So it's very multifunctional, and it will definitely act as a sort of cover up, and it's definitely something that I can just sort of relax in when we are sitting back at the apartment. Although now I do also have a pair of linen shorts for that, which I will go get out of the drying bin. 1 second. So sometimes what I also do is just relax in these little linen shorts with the tank top from the day, but obviously then they get washed afterwards. So these are going in. What I may have to do if I run out of space, but it's okay as we do have a little bit of extendable space, is take the hammam poncho out and perhaps just clip it to the side, but we'll see how we're going. Let's do toiletries and little bits and pieces. When I go away, obviously it has to be in a clear pouch still at the moment for security, and everything has to be under 100 millilitres. So what do I take? I take deodorant. It is a must for me. I do take this eco-friendly mascara, although I get my brows done with henna and my eyelashes just before I go, but I take this just in case it starts to wear off before the end of the holiday. And I do take a tinted moisturiser with SPF, and this year I am taking my sun cream with me because last year we waited until we got there and it was very, very expensive. And that's another good tip as well. Goes without saying, always research the country that you are going to, because some products, specifically sort of hygiene related products, are very, very hard to get whilst you are there, or not hard to get but more expensive than the country that you're in perhaps. Lip balm and cheek tint. And because that one is nearly run out, I'm actually trying another one from Dr. Pawpaw, which is a kind of sheer shimmer, but it is done with natural substances, no sort of metal or plastics. And I like to even accessorise on holiday, so I take the few accessories that I own as a minimalist, such as my amber earrings and my Gaspite earrings as well. They can really help even jazz up the plainest of outfits. So within this, oh I nearly forgot, I also take, as I learned last year, my hair also needs an SPF. So I have this milky oil, which is like a leave-in conditioner crossed with an oil, and it protects your hair from the sun, from the sea, from chlorine. It's a leave-in conditioner as well, from the salt in the sea, and it is from this eco-friendly brand called New. Lately I have this other little thing that I've been taking when I go away, and it's for people who don't perhaps take their own shampoo and conditioner but they know they're staying in a hotel, and it's this goop bottle. It's made of silicone rubber, and the idea is that when you are in a hotel you can just take a bit of the shampoo if you want with you, like it's only a very small portion, so that when you go to another place that you are not sure of whether it has that, you've got a little place to put it in. And obviously it means it's light while you're traveling, it rolls right up, very small. So that's one thing that I've been doing. Now I nearly forgot, because I think it is in our bathroom. Let me go get it. So we may have actually run out of this before we go, so I will have to get another before we go. So doing this video has reminded me, when I travel, I always travel with a little travel size peppermint Dr. Bronner's, because when it is the peppermint one, you can use it to brush your teeth. You can also use it to wash your clothes, which is going to be something that we have to do whilst we are there, because we don't have many clothes. I have even less underwear, which I'm not packing yet because I've got more than 3 days before I go, and I'm going to need to constantly wear them. They're always the last thing to go in for me when I've washed them, sometimes as late as the evening before we go. So still to be added to this is my Peppermint Dr. Bronner's and my underwear. I won't be taking any socks, I'll just be taking bra and underwear set. No socks, because too hot for socks. I'm not taking any trainers, which gets me to the shoes that I'm taking and also some other little things. I'll be right back. Now, one thing that saves a lot of time on holiday, I believe, with washing is if you take a bikini. Obviously bikinis wash and dry much quicker, so I live a lot of the time just in my bikini. The bikini is going in. I definitely might have to maneuver some of this stuff a little bit, so bear with me a second. So for now, I've just taken the hammam poncho out. That may have to go on the side as it's the bulkiest item. We'll put this to the side because that's what I'm traveling in. This obviously needs to go in the top because airport security will ask me to take it out. But what I'm also going to put in here are some other little things. I will need to use these before I go, but now for packing I will put them in here. A bobble, a hair clip, and my hairbrush. So we'll just see what it looks like for space by putting these in. Now, I always take a pair of hair straighteners. Luckily, my hair straighteners are very, very small. And we'll just try and squash these down one side. I am obviously going to need these before I go, but now I'm really looking at the space inside this very small 28 litre backpack. So can you all see? Luckily, that is the actual very top part of the backpack and it's almost level with that. In this Patagonia backpack, you can extend it to sort of up here, but we are at the top, so this might actually go flat on the top, so we'll have a look. It currently does not want to stand up, but it is, so we'll leave it at that. What do I take? So things like travel documents are easy access, and so I have a little bit of a carry purse while we're there. Now, I used to previously call this my everyday bag, and sometimes I do use it as that, but really it was actually sold as a travel wallet, and I'm about to show you why. So inside there are all these slots for debit, credit cards, a little extra area to keep other things. What do I currently have in here? Toothpicks for my partner because he always needs a toothpick, which obviously the toothbrushes are the only thing we haven't added yet, as we will need them until the last moment that we go. Also, sunglasses. I don't like them to obviously go in the main bag. They're fragile, they could be crushed, so I like to just keep them in here. I have mine and my partner's passport. I think he doesn't trust himself to not lose it, so I get entrusted with the passports. And that just simply goes on my person whilst I have my backpack on. Although one good feature about this backpack that I have spoke about before, and not forgetting Patagonia, and this isn't sponsored, Patagonia are a true 100% non-profit brand for climate change. All profits go to climate change, so it's a company that I can really get on board with, pun intended. And on their backpacks, on the carry straps, they actually have little zip pockets here which actually do fit your mobile phone in, so you can put it out of the way whilst you're in the airport, but it's easily accessible. And same with if you wanted to perhaps put your passport in there, it fits your passport. But because I'll have a few things like my sunglasses, I'm taking that as well. But you don't perhaps need it with these. The sunglasses could just go on the head, although it is a long journey to be wearing your sunglasses on your head. Now when I travel, I probably will take my black fleece just because I will be absolutely freezing otherwise in the UK. I may even wear one of my scarves, which will be another alternative cover up while I'm away. And I am only taking one pair of shoes. What are they? So currently I would like to just take my Birkenstocks. They're so comfortable. But we are walking a 10-mile gorge while we are there. Now I think these are comfortable enough to do that. I've had a few people say they don't actually think it would be safe. So currently I am toying whether to take my Barefoot trail shoes or not. If I do decide to take these, because they are so slim, you see how flat they glow, they will easily just sort of still squash on the top of there, and that will still close. So that's something that I'm going to think about over the next few days, but that is literally everything I need for 1 month in Greece. If I think of anything else whilst I'm editing, I will add it at the end of this video, because sometimes because I do actually have a lot on my plate at the moment with work, with traveling, with preparing for the future. Sometimes I do, even as a minimalist, find it a little bit hard to focus, and that is how Magic Mind have been helping me a lot in that capacity of mental focus. So don't forget to check those out with my discount code SAGELIFE20, which is linked in the description. And they have actually been helping me focus a little bit more. I have most of my stuff ready and planned to go. And if any of you would like to follow along with my holiday in Greece, my extended holiday in Greece, I will be posting stories to Instagram, but unlike previous years, I am not actually going to do any filming for YouTube whilst I am there. I've realised that a lot of the travel content doesn't go well on my channel, even though it is Minimalist Travel. And that is perhaps why I'm starting a second channel as well, so that I can separate those two things for two almost separate audiences, really. I know this sometimes the packing does go well because people like to see the stuff that you are packing, but then not the actual end result of where you are going. And for those of you who do, you can follow along on my Instagram, which is the same name as my channel. See you all later. Bye.